What's up, everyone? I'm your spiritual gardener, here to plant seeds in your garden. It's just your job to water them. And we have got a full moon today. All right, so our full moon today is in Aquarius. So I've got a little bit of, the funky colors going today. And that kind of is what Aquarius represents for us. Aquarius is all about, they consider them the alien, the rebel to an extent. Having a moon in Aquarius, though, it's a little bit more relaxed, okay? It's opposing our sun, which is in Leo, but the reason I say it's more relaxed is because Aquarius is actually an air sign. So, when our sun sign tends to be that way, it's a lot more locked, embedded in our soul. When it tends to be our moon sign, our mind isn't so bogged down and heavy with thought, so to say. So, it gives us a little bit of a lighter aspect. We're not too stuck on things, but we're also not too displaced from them. So if that makes sense. Now the thing about this full moon is setting the stage for the energy to come. And this full moon is making a square over to Uranus. Now the sun is also making a square over to Uranus because they're both at about 90 degrees away. So the moon will only be here till about later today, so this square will cease to exist. But while it's in this full moon energy, it is representing rebellion. And this has to do with the mind, the moon, and our soul, the sun. So there's a bit of us that's ready for change. We're feeling a little bit unsettled. There are things that, maybe we've been waiting a little bit too long to put change to, and it's like we're really starting to feel the motions of change being needed, okay? So you might feel this in your personal life. There might be numerous things that you feel this for, but I'm sure you know something that I'm talking about. Now, the other aspects that we have are, the sun is met up with Chiron right now, and with the dark moon. And it's making hard aspects over to all the energy that we have in Capricorn. Okay, so this energy, we're over it. It's been here for like 2.5 years. It's been making its greatest aspects this last year, really, since January. And it will cease to exist come this December, okay? But this is time to put your seatbelt on because the energy is very, very vamped up, okay? And, having Mars in Aries does represent ourself, and all the crazy energy in Capricorn typically represents governments, but it also represents, our status in the world, how we are portrayed. It's the 10th house in astrology. So as a collective, we feel, a lot of crazy stuff boiling down, and a lot of talk about, possible war, or, a lot of craziness within the governments right now. But in our own personal lives, this has to deal with Mars being in Aries, which represents ourself, facing off with Pluto, Jupiter, and Saturn in Capricorn, which all have to deal with our self-worth. So we're having a little bit of a battle here. So I'm not sure if yesterday was the easiest of days for you. I know it definitely wasn't for me. I've got a bit of Capricorn energy. But, this Mars isn't going to be leaving until January of 2021. So this has to be energy that we, need to get used to in a way. And when Mars makes its retrograde here in about another week and a half or two, we'll really start to feel this even more. But there's somewhat of a battle between what we desire and what we are trying to reach at a higher stage. So not so much as work versus self, but in a sense, there are a lot of things that we might do on a day-to-day that we're not so proud of right now. Maybe we're not in our normal routine. And that's kind of obvious with the whole, stuff that's been going on, keeping us in lockdown lately. We haven't really been able to be in our true essence. But there is a bit of hurt tied to this Mars with Chiron here as well. So, it's starting to really weigh on us. We're really wanting this energy to kind of get through with and get over with. But it's not over yet. So I just want you guys to know that we do need to deal with our aggression in healthy ways. It will be quite the theme until the end of the year, aggressiveness. So, you know, I know we all have areas that we know that we might just kind of pop off at the handle at or whatnot, and these are all tests for us right now. You know, if there's a reason that you're being aggravated by something, you need to look deeper into that reasoning. But that's a big theme right now, you know, aggravation of all sorts. And along with this, we've got all the crazy energy in Capricorn making a perfect opposition to Mercury, which is, it's in Cancer right now, but it will be finally moving into Leo here in a couple days. But in Cancer, you know, our mental aspect of Mercury, it's very gloomy in a sense. You know, it wants things picture perfect when it comes to relationships, especially home life, family. And I don't think we're really getting this right now. We're not getting this with the opposition of all the crazy planets in Capricorn. It's like we're kind of having to choose between our security and our happiness. So, you know, when Mercury moves over into Leo, where it loves to be because it's hanging out with its, you know, the sun, things are going to start to make a lot more sense. And we're not going to have such harsh of opposition points right here. So it will get lighter. Our mind will start to cease with all of the agitation and such that we've been feeling for quite a while now, since it's been in Cancer, really. But, you know, glad to know that this energy is moving soon, so that's a good thing. Now, with Uranus making its square over to the moon today, you know, don't be surprised if you guys are feeling like the ultimate rebel. Like things aren't setting well with you. You're kind of blowing up about this, blowing up about that. This isn't making you happy. This, that. That's kind of the energy that we have going on right now, okay? So you need to know that Uranus does represent that rebel for a reason. You know, that's why I kind of pointed out my shirt at the beginning, you know, wearing odd clothing, whatever. You know, in the hippie days, we had a lot of Uranus energy, and that's when everybody was like, yo, you know, let's get our hair long, and let's wear bell bottoms, and, you know, everybody kind of stepped into their own power of who they wanted to be. And this is a big wake-up call for that. This is kind of telling us, like, you know, it's time to shine. It's time for you to be comfortable in who you are, and not so much as be, you know, hiding your true feelings. So we will be able to digest this energy a bit easier since it is an Aquarius, and Aquarius doesn't take things too personally. They kind of weigh out the facts, and, you know, like I said, they are an air sign, not a water sign, so it's not taking everything too emotional. But it is time for us to make certain changes, you know, things that aren't making us happy. And, it's been a long time coming. It really has. And it's not going to be the easiest of changes. That's really not. But, you know, these changes are definitely meant because the energy we have coming until the end of this year is going to be very hardcore, to say the least. Like I said before, we've never felt this harsh of energy ever in our lives, and we never will again. And even as a, you know, as a whole, as a collective, we're not going to be going through energy this crazy. So, you know, we've got a lot of stuff coming up, and then I will get to that in other videos. But with this Aquarius full moon, it is a time to release, okay? So we have a lot of releasing to do. Any full moon is a time for release. But these are things that are making us rebel. Since we're making that square over to Uranus, you know, the things that are making us rebel, the things that are making us not feel like we can be in our true self, are things that we have to do away with. You know, we're going to feel this energy pretty tightly until the next full moon, but, you know, we kind of have an idea of what this energy is, and it is time to make the cut here and move forward. And I know it's not going to be easy. Not by any means will this be easy, but it's necessary, and it's definitely necessary to pull us through the end of the year and, you know, have this energy not be so harsh on us. We also have today we've got Venus that's met up with the North Node in Gemini, okay? So we've had Venus in Gemini like the whole summer, this whole summer. And it's kind of, you know, made us want to be that social butterfly, and we haven't really had the chance to. It's also kind of put like a, you know, within our relationships, kind of like this, how Gemini is perceived as the twins. It's given us this dual aspect in our relationship, kind of like an up and down feeling. Now moving into Cancer here soon, you know, it's got its ups and downs. And Cancer, it's very heartfelt. It's very, you know, Cancer is considered one of the most emotional signs of the zodiac. So having Venus move into the sign of Cancer, yeah, we are going to be feeling a bit more emotional. We will be able to attach to our feelings a little bit more, though, and possibly, you know, have those connections, have those talks that we've been wanting to have with our partners. And I will get to more videos when it's moving out and towards the end of Cancer, because that's when we will have oppositions to the crazy energy in Capricorn, okay? But for now, we just need to focus on the full moon with this harsh aspect over to Uranus. And like I said, it's our mind dealing with the rebelliousness. So we do need to step into our truth. You know, if you're being a rebel and you're going and doing some crazy stuff that's harming other people, that's a little bit different. But if it's a rebel sense of being in your true self, like Aquariuses do, you know, Aquarius is represented by Uranus. So having the moon in Aquarius squaring Uranus, it's like, no, I know what I need to do. You know, I know what's going to make me happy. And that's what it's about. It's about making you happy and not caring what other people think. 100%. There's no point in caring what others think. Aquarius doesn't do that. And Uranus is on a certain tilt itself. Uranus is the only planet that tilts sideways. It also has rings, but it doesn't look like the other planets in its singular rotation. It's got a whole different tilt to it. So it's a rebel in itself, okay? So I just want you guys to be aware of this energy. We still are in lovely Leo season, so like I said too, a lot of light, since Leo represents the sun, is going to be shed on a lot of aspects that are dark within astrology that we have been building up into. And like I said before too, this Scorpio season, towards the end of October through November, is going to be one for the books. We are going to see some of the craziest stuff within politics especially too. But it's time to brace yourselves, guys. It really is time. If we have anything like a WAR coming on, you've got, you know, a month or two to get it together, get prepared, feel safe, because we really don't know what this energy is going to bring. I said in my post the other day, I hope that, you know, this time we can crack history repeating itself, which is astrology, and we can kind of crack that code. And if we do, then maybe this whole matrix will give us a new, you know, will show us something new, and we won't have to repeat these patterns and feel the same type of energy that we have felt for hundreds and thousands of years of repeating cycles, okay? So 2020 is a whole new year. The 2020 vision, there's many reasons it's been such a popular number for so long, okay? So we really want to dial in and focus on creating our best selves, especially through this craziest of energy. And like I said, come December, we will be able to breathe a lot better. We really will. So take your time today. Don't apologize for who you are. Step into your essence. And just brace yourselves for the energy coming. We can get through this, guys. But this is a good time for release. So release anything that doesn't resonate with you. And don't be afraid to be yourself. That's the most important thing right now. I love you guys.